Well, yesterday it was the Premier, Stephen Marshall, who opened a new Chinese consulate in Joslin, just to the east of the city. One must question the timing of opening a consulate and the need for a specific consulate for the Chinese to have in Adelaide. Senator Rex Patrick took to Facebook overnight. He said, "Today the Premier has opened this consulate for the Chinese. He should not have." Less than a week after the Chinese government extended tariffs on Australian wine, which includes Barossa wine and Coonawarra wine and Clare Valley wine and McLaren Vale wine, Langhorne Creek wine and Riverland wine, and you get the picture, don't you? The Premier of South Australia rolled out the red carpet for the Chinese Communist Party, says Rex Patricks, at the opening of this new consulate. While the Chinese government is mounting a trade war against other South Australian produce, including crayfish, grain and other commodities, Mr Patrick says Stephen Marshall has been happily sleeping with the enemy. The Premier's office provided a statement from a spokesperson saying that Mr Marshall, in his capacity as Premier, meets with consular officials from a variety of countries on a regular basis. The office also pointed out that the consulate was approved by the previous Labor government. But South Australia's Liberal Senator Alex Antich had raised concerns about this consulate in the Senate estimates last week, noting its large size was disproportionate to the state, and he noted the significant defence industry and potential national security concerns around the size of such a consulate, and that there are a significant number of protesters that then appeared at the roadside opening. They bore banners such as Xi Jinping closed the concentration camps in East Turkestan, that is where Western China is referred to as Xinjiang province, which is home of the predominantly Muslim Uyghur people. Protesters there waved flags. They're Australian flags, East Turkestan flags, Tibetan flag and a South Vietnamese flag shouting, "Shame, shame, shame." Well, Rex Patrick's had his view on it, and Alex Antich seems to be concerned. Yet we have a Liberal Premier carrying through a Labor policy in South Australia. Is there a need for concern? Is the federal government concerned here? Should there be other consulates opened in South Australia, or should they just have their national ones in Canberra? I reckon for national security, given the circumstances, that there should be a wide-ranging review of foreign offices being set up in states. And one would reckon that the Victorian circumstance with the Belt and Road Initiative with Daniel Andrews is another that requires a far greater oversight of our Foreign Affairs Department.